You ever see a massive corporate buyout in the news and just wonder what is really going on there? Well, today, we're going to dive into that high-stakes, headline-grabbing world of mergers and acquisitions. This is where corporate empires are built, entire industries get reshaped, and fortunes, well, they're either made or they're lost. So what really drives one company to spend billions, sometimes hundreds of billions of dollars, just to buy another one? I mean, it's a move that can define a CEO's entire legacy and literally change the landscape of an industry overnight. And look, this isn't some new fad. M&A activity has always come in these huge waves, with the total value of deals soaring into the trillions. For more than 100 years, we've seen these cycles of boom and bust, and they're usually kicked off by things like a hot economy, some game-changing new tech, or even just new government regulations.
All right, so to really get a handle on these waves, we need to get right to the heart of it. What's the fundamental move we're talking about here? At its core, it's all about corporate power plays.
Okay, so the fancy technical term is a business combination, but the idea itself is really simple. It's any deal that brings two or more companies under one roof, with one single leadership team calling all the shots.
So that covers the what. But honestly, the real story, the interesting part, is the why. What is this powerful urge to merge? I mean, why not just build your own business from the ground up?
Well, there are a ton of strategic reasons. A company might want to instantly get into a new country, or maybe find some clever tax breaks, or just diversify its business so it's not so vulnerable to market swings. But the number one reason, the holy grail of almost every single deal, is the promise of synergy.
And this brings us to this incredible concept, synergy. It's this simple but incredibly powerful idea that 2 plus 2 can somehow equal 5. The belief is that by joining forces, the new, bigger company is going to be more efficient, more innovative, and at the end of the day, way more profitable than the two companies ever could have been on their own.
And this isn't just some theory from a business textbook. You see it in the real world all the time. Think about it. For a chain of funeral homes, buying a competitor means they can suddenly negotiate much bigger discounts on things like coffins. Or for a fitness company, it means they can spread their huge marketing budget across way more gyms. It's all about using your size to create real, tangible value.
But, getting to that value isn't always a smooth ride. The process of combining can be anything from a friendly negotiation to just an all-out corporate war. And that brings us to the nature of the deal itself. Is this a friendly handshake, or is it a hostile attack?
So on one hand, you've got your friendly combination. You can think of this like a corporate marriage, right? Both boards get together, they hash out the terms, and they both agree that this deal is what's best for everybody. But on the other hand, you have a hostile takeover. This is more like a corporate siege. This is where the target company's board says, "No way." So the acquirer just goes right over their heads and makes an offer directly to the shareholders, trying to force the deal through.
Which, of course, makes you wonder, if some corporate raider is banging down your company's gates, how on earth do you fight back?
Okay, this is where it gets really cinematic. Companies have this whole arsenal of defense tactics, and some of them have these incredible names. A poison pill, for instance, floods the market with new shares to water down the acquirer's stake. A white knight is a friendly company that comes riding in to save the day with a better offer. And get this, there's even the Pac-Man defense, where the target company literally turns around and tries to buy the attacker.
So, whether the deal is friendly or hostile, at the end of the day, it all comes down to one thing: the price. How exactly do you put a price tag, often in the billions, on an entire company? This is where a really important accounting concept called goodwill comes in. Just think of it as the value of everything you can't physically touch: a company's famous brand name, its super loyal customers, its secret formulas or patents. It's the premium you pay for that special something, that magic that makes a company what it is.
And to get a deal done, acquirers have to pay for that magic. That's why they typically pay a massive premium. We're talking 40 to 50% over the company's current stock price. For a shareholder, an offer like that is very, very hard to refuse.
But here's the thing. Even with a sky-high price and all these promises of synergy, these deals are notoriously difficult to get right. And that brings us to the harsh reality, our final section, the price and the pitfalls when these mergers go wrong.
Before any deal is finalized, an army of lawyers and accountants performs something called due diligence. It is an intense investigation to make sure there are no hidden bombs just waiting to go off. Their job, to put it bluntly, is to find all the skeletons in the closet before it's too late.
And the potential pitfalls are just everywhere. You might uncover some hidden debts, you might realize the profits were kind of puffed up, or maybe you see a deal being driven more by a CEO's ego than by sound business logic. But you know, often the biggest deal killer of all is forgetting about the people. Trying to mash two completely different company cultures together can be the hardest part of the entire thing.
And the statistics on this are just startling. As one corporate accounting controller put it perfectly, success in M&A is like baseball. Batting .300 is considered outstanding. Just think about that. If you succeed only about 30% of the time, you're considered a star. In the M&A world, you're actually beating the average.
So that leaves us with this one big, fascinating question. When studies show that a third of these mergers actually reduce shareholder value, you've got to wonder, the next time you see a massive deal in the headlines, are you witnessing a brilliant strategic masterstroke, or is it just a multi-billion-dollar gamble?